Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another fat loss video. I'm at Madness Manor in the summer house. I haven't done an update on fatness loss or fat loss because there's not necessarily been much to report other than the fact I've sort of steadily been losing weight, and I use the word steadily because fortunately things have slowed down a bit. I'm still eating me Eddie Abu breakfast of scrambled egg, 2 rashers of bacon, mushrooms, tomato and avocado. Sometimes a whole avocado, sometimes only half, depending how large the avocado is and how hard it is. If it's a soft one, I had a large soft one this morning. That sounds quite inappropriate really, but I did have a large soft one this morning, so I ate a lot, mixed with a bit of lemon juice. So before we talk about fat loss, let's talk about food. I'm also eating food that hasn't got man-made so-called ingredients. And an ingredient in a food for me is another food that's put together with an existing food and their ingredients. It's scary. If you want motivation on what you should be eating, read the labels. I just cannot grasp how a so-called food industry gives you something to eat, produces something for you to eat that has so many things in it that aren't food. That's been an absolute eye-opener. The last food ingredient eye-opener I had was when my kids were small, and that was in the time in the 80s when E-numbers, everyone got scared about E-numbers. Tark was in, was it, or something, E3, was it, they used to put in orange juice, used to send kids wappy. I sent my lad wappy, orange juice, I couldn't buy it him. It'd be on the ceiling. And so we all got scared of E-numbers. E-numbers have gone. Is this shit in food the same as E-numbers on a different name or something? Because it is scary. So the food industry is plying us with food that isn't food. I'm desperately not trying to become fattest, or, as I said in a previous video, fat shaming, or having a phobia or phobic, or like I said, an ist, because in this world that we're now living, you can't have a phobia, you can't have a shame, you can't have an ist. It's all that, it's an absolute load of crap. I was brought up in the time when you spoke English words that meant what said, and if people didn't like what you said, it was, they'd walk away. But now you have to be put in your place if you say something people don't like. So I believe they're bullies. That's a totally different issue anyway. So, food, full of shit. I've managed to find a bacon, naked bacon, which is great, other than the fact it's not very big. It doesn't end up very big when you've cooked it, and you could make a window out of it, albeit an opaque window, but you can see through it. But I have found a less toxic bacon, and people will now argue with me that bacon is toxic anyway and gives you bowel cancer and all this bollocks. Well, I understand that, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm losing fat, not saving anything else. I've lost over 2 stone, and a 2 stone was a goal, which I said I would phone the doctor to tell him what I've done. Now, having lost 2 stone and having thrown away all my clothing, well, given it to charity, I've kept a shirt. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? I mean, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a tight shirt anyway, but I've kept one shirt, and this is it, purely to make this video so you guys can see what I was. The only regret I have is I didn't show how fat I was. I wish I'd have stood in front of you in a pair of shorts and shown me fat and where my fat was. I'll do it now. Bear with me. For those of a fragile composition, look away. Can you do this one? Well, I'm doing it on YouTube, it's not for kids. Right. So, I've still got belly overhang, I've still got breasts. It's slimming up on the side rather than being out here. That's all you're going to see. It's I wish I'd have done that. I really wish I'd have had the balls to do that when I first started. Let me show you my shirt now I've took it off. Look. So that's my little strip tease. He's still there. So that's where I've come from. Like I say, I really wish I'd have had the balls to do that in the first place. It didn't particularly bother me in the first place actually. But if you go back to some of the previous videos I've made, particularly the bike works and maintenance videos where you see me doing stuff, you'll see how fat I was. You can see how fat I still am, and there's still 2 stone to go. So you know what I have for breakfast. Lunch times, I'm eating, I don't necessarily have lunch. I might sit and a slice of cooked beef or something, which you have to watch the additives in. Tesco finest beef is beef and salt. Morrison's finest beef is beef, salt and pepper, and so is, I believe, a better quality Co-op beef. All the other beefs have got shit in them, man-made additives. You know, you wouldn't dream of eating the packet that's coming, so why put the stuff in the food in the first place? The ham's gone. Ham's out the window. There's no such thing, I don't believe, of ham that's not been mucked about with additives. So ham's out the window, and I do love ham. I'm sorry if your ethnic beliefs don't allow you to eat pork, but then, you know, I have my ethnic beliefs and there's things I don't eat for the same thing. So please, it's not an apology. Please understand that there's things I don't eat as well as you don't eat. Oh, and beef for that matter. Dinner will be either a rump or sirloin steak, generally cut in half. I did find some in Tesco land, some steaks which were like a rump steak, but they're not as thick. So I do eat a whole one of those. But I do find a half fills me up with salad, and I'll either have it with salad or just steak with some asparagus, which will be a whole bunch of asparagus, supermarket bunch. Or I'll have steak on its own, but if I have steak on its own, generally I've had a salad beforehand. I'll just make my own vinaigrette or dressing where I use olive oil, and I did find an organic balsamic vinegar which has got no, from what I can understand, it's got no crap in it. So a bit of salt and pepper, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of this organic balsamic vinegar, in a little plastic pot shook up with salt and pepper in it, shaken up well, keep it in the fridge, and that'll last me 3 salads as to how much quantity I'm putting on. And the salads I'm buying are from Tesco Land in a little square box. Generally I just buy 1 or 2 versions of it because the others have got tomatoes in, and I buy my tomatoes separate anyway. So I'm just incredibly boring on my food intake, but what I'm having is a variety of. My breakfast is a good variety. It's bacon, mushrooms, tomato, egg, avocado. There's 5 good variations of different textures and tastes of food there. Steak. I cook it. I just a bit of olive oil on it, a bit of pepper on it. Chuck it into a red hot pan. I like my steak rare, because I'm cooking smaller steaks. They're coming out more medium than rare, but I don't mind that. And again, if you're vegetarian, I can't make an apology to you, because if you are vegetarian or vegan, and I do like vegan and vegetarian food, just look what you're eating, because it ain't food. Stuff I used to eat, it's not food. So how can you eat? I question how could I eat either some vegan or vegetarian, and it ain't food. I'd even buy vegan cobs, not cobs, the things that the brioche buns, vegan brioche buns, vegan burgers. They're bloody gorgeous, They're not food. They are not food. So it's vegan veggies out the window for me at the minute, because I'm keeping things simple for cooking. Black coffee. I do have 2 freshly squeezed oranges at the moment. Jaffa oranges from Tesco Land are pretty good at the moment, so I'm having 2 of those juiced in the morning. Not to sip or anything, I'll just drink it. I find orange juice makes me wee, and if you're weeing clear wee, that's another thing I look at, my wee and my poo, to make sure my wee's clear, because I drink plenty of water. My poo varies. Day after be eating beef, or my steak day is heavier poo. Day I eat chicken, I'll eat chicken, variations go, cheese salad, beef salad, chicken salad, on a rotation, basically. Sometimes I do the chicken with grated cheese on top, sometimes I crisp some bacon with it. I did some chicken the other day, which I sort of cut into little goujons, one of these Better Welfare chicken breasts, Tesco Finest, and put in a mix of herbs, loose and chili-ish, based towards a jerk chicken type thing. And I did that. I fried it up with some onion, garlic, tomato, some mushroom, and I had that. I didn't have any veg with it because I forgot to get the asparagus. Oh, it's proper tasty. Bit of a faff to do, bit of a wipe down afterwards. So dietary, boring. And I've been away a few times. I've been to just every week in Bridlington. I had last week in Norfolk, which is just what I eat at home. The week before that, I was away on a hotel trip, cycling Chesterfield and back. You saw that on the Arc Chesterfield videos. Did buy food out. Another thing that's come to light is food packaging. Now, I've never considered food packaging because in the past you go and buy some food and it comes in a packet. But now you buy food, and I'm not buying food. I thought I wasn't going to be buying food in a packet because I'm buying whole food. My food packaging has increased, and I think my food packaging has doubled. I'm sure it hasn't, because if I've had fish and chips out, I've had food packaging that's gone in the bin when I've eaten the fish and chips outside the shop. So I'm sure my food packaging hasn't increased. If I've gone to a cafe and had something to eat, they've dealt with the washing up and the packaging. So I'm still making my vast contribution to pointless food packaging waste in the world, but now I'm actually having to dispose of it for 2 meals a day worth. So I've noticed the increase in food packaging that's going in my dustbin, and it has increased markedly. It's doubled. I put a rubbish, and I'm feeding for myself, and I put a small bag of rubbish in the dustbin every day rather than every 2 days. So there's a marked difference in that. So that worries me, because you know, I'm not eating the additives. I'm eating whole food, but I've increased my waste input on the planet. So that's a little bit about food packaging, and that might be a video in itself. I might save up 7 days worth of food packaging and show you what I've got. It's an example is cucumbers. You buy a cucumber, and a cucumber would last me, I will try to make it, a cucumber should last me a week, because you know, it's what it is. Single person portion of cucumber. So you buy a cucumber, which itself is only a little plastic bag thing, cellophane wrapper thing, and you're chopping it off, but you're chasing the rot. So the further you get into the week, the bigger the chunk of cucumbers going in the bin. So it's food waste. So I buy those little baby kids cucumbers, I call them, and there's probably 5 in a box, and I'll have 1 on my salad. If they're really small, if there's 6 or 7 in the box, I might have 2 on. But I've stopped buying cucumber purely because of the packaging, because the packaging waste of my cucumber is, in relative waste to food input, is disgusting. So I stopped eating cucumber. Red peppers don't come in packaging. Oh, that's cool. If only could go into Tesco land and pick out 3 baby cucumbers out of a box. And I'm not one for, and I'll put stuff on the scales, put it in the bag, and the printed label that comes off the scales, because I also scan, which probably does someone out of a job, but I also scan and I stick the label on my bag. So I'm not using a grocery bag from the shop. So packaging is going to be another video. Doctor, so I hit 2 stone loss, and thank you for you guys that have took the time to comment and tell me that I already knew, and we all know you shouldn't lose weight too quickly, and I was losing weight at an alarming rate, but I knew that, and it's not good for you, but neither is being 4 stone overweight at 54 years old. So chicken and egg, bang a load of weight off, short, sharp, sink or swim, or do it gradually and still be 1, 2, 3 stone overweight for 6 months of eating. Now I thought I'd jump in with both feet and away I go. So I phoned the doctor, said to him, I said, right, I said, I've been on a weight loss thing, I've lost 2 stone in less than 6 weeks. He says, well, that's very commendable. He says, but we do recommend that you only lose, if you're doing a weight loss program, you only lose, it works out to £3 a week or something, 2.5 kilos a week. I can't remember what he said. He says, but then knowing you, then that's how you do things. So I've been for a blood test. So I've had a blood test yesterday, and I don't know the results. That's why I'm doing the video today, because it's pre-results. So he's testing, from what I remember, obviously blood count, liver function, kidney function, blood sugar. He won't test my insulin, which is my insulin spikes is what I'm trying to remove away from my fat loss program. So that's so I forgot what I've just said now. So blood count, liver function, kidney, sugar, and the other thing, cholesterol. So I do take tablets for cholesterol, I take tablets for blood pressure, and I take painkillers because I have an incredibly painful hip. To the point I couldn't go camping anymore. Even taking 600 milligrams of ibuprofen a day, along with the max dose of paracetamol, I couldn't go camping. The reason I couldn't go camping, well, I did go camping, but I couldn't put the tent away. I used the air tent, this will be last year, I don't think it was early this year, last year, and I packed the tent away with tears in my eyes. It hurt that much. These are joints, knees, hips. I couldn't change the bed. I used to change the bed in 3 steps. I stripped the bed in one go, and then get it in the washing machine, and then making the bed, I could fit the bottom sheet so I could fit the fitted bottom sheet, I could fit a flat sheet which I have between the bottom sheet and the duvet, so I sleep in between the 2 sheets, and I could probably do 1 or 2 pillowcases. There's 4 pillows on the bed. I could probably do 1 or 2, very rarely could do all 4 pillowcases. And then later on, when tears have left my eyes and pain has subsided, I could put the duvet cover on. So it's 3-stage bed making in agony. Well, I've changed my painkillers. The painkillers changed my life to a degree. Certainly this thing I'm eating, the way I'm eating now, has also helped. It's probably all in the head. I don't give a toss where it is. If it's in my head, if it's not in my joints anymore, I don't care, because I can do an awful lot more. I've always been able to ride a bike. I've been able to ride a bike miles. But recovery from riding the bike was painful. That's changing. So I phoned Quack. He's checking my bloods. The results will be out today. I have no idea what they're going to be. He reiterated the fact of, I shouldn't have lost weight that quickly, and I said, well, it has slowed down a bit this last week. I've noticed it's really slowed down, so I'm happy with myself with that. And we will continue. So my next video will be my blood results, because I've no idea what they're going to be. I'm having 2 eggs a day. That means cholesterol. But this is what I don't get. You can't eat 2 eggs. You shouldn't eat 2 eggs a day because of the cholesterol. But you can eat eons loads of man-made mechanical shit additives in food. The same people that tell you you've got blood pressure, we've got to keep under control. The same people that tell you about diabetes and stage 2 diabetes, and the same people that tell you about cholesterol and everything else you shouldn't fucking do, are the same people that are allowing food manufacturers to put shit into food. I don't get it. I don't get that one bit. You can't be fat, you can't be diabetic. We've got to watch this. You can't have cholesterol. All these things you can't have is controlled or is being told by the same body, i.e. the British government, or even the governments in most countries. They tell you that you can't have all this shit, yet they give blessing to a drive-through fat food shop where people sit in a freaking motor car to go and buy food, to eat the food, to drive back home. And the food's shit. You go to Tesco land, you buy... Our Tesco has been done up. I'm on a rant now. I love a good rant, if you've not noticed. I got my local Tesco, Oak Tree Lane, Mansfield. We've got 2 Tesco's. I've got another local Tesco, Chesterfield Road in Mansfield. One of these shops is allegedly, same thing, Tesco X whatever extra do they call them? I don't know, some branding gimmick. Anyhow, they're both the same shop. One is crap to shop in, and one isn't. It's like shopping in Beirut, the one on Chesterfield Road. It's I call it the Beirut shopping experience. If you were around in the 70s, you know what I mean, because the news was full of people in Beirut trying to find food because shops are empty. Well, Tesco at Chesterfield Road was the same. Tesco Oak Tree Lane was streets ahead. In fact, it was almost as if it was a totally different company. Anyway, they're remodeling the supermarket to make it as the same as Chesterfield Road, and they've got the 99% into it now. But the Whole Foods, your selection, that's a fly, sorry, the selection of foods available is reduced. I don't mean shit food, I mean vegetables, salad foods. You know, you can't get red spring onions. You can't get, they used to do a multi-pack of veg, they do a multi-pack of baby corn, asparagus and broccoli. Or they do a multi-pack of mange two, fine beans and asparagus, or whatever. These little packs of 3 different veg, when you're cooking for yourself, or for 2 people, it's easy because one of those will do 2 days and you can have a variety. They don't do it anymore. So it's becoming what they're going to let you have. We've got a Sainsbury's. That's another Beirut shopping experience. You go into Sainsbury's and they've got nothing, shelves empty. You drive into Nottingham, Castle Marina, you go to Sainsbury's there, and they've got everything, and it's better food as well. And they've got everything Sainsbury's have. And guess what? Right, I've just had to switch back on. because for some reason the GoPro's died. GoPro is another shit thing. They're brilliant at what they do. They are absolutely shit. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up because I've rabbited on. 2 stone, phoned the doctor, waiting blood results, feeling damn sight better. Fat shirt, double-breasted, triple-breasted shirt, brilliant, feeling better. Everything is good, and I have rabbited. Just shut down again, GoPro. Please thumbs up, please subscribe, please like, message me, Andrew Marshall. No, that's a load of crap. It's Nottinghamshire Madness by Andrew Marshall on Facebook. Nottinghamshire Madness at yahoo.com. Please message, please talk to me. Please let me know what you're doing. GoPro's shit. I'll go before it shuts down again.